what's going on? Miguel Lloyd, host of Life Full Circle Radio, and so happy Wednesday. It is Wednesday, and we're here on time, kind of, sort of. So today we're going to be talking about a lot of things. Lindsey Graham suddenly passed away this past weekend. We're going to talk about how he has been covered, as well as why he's been covered the way he's been covered, because he's got quite a record. His sister has been appointed in his senatorial seat for the next... I don't know if his seat is up for election or not, but we'll see. I put another ICE shooting, and there's actually two shootings, one in Maine and one in Texas, I believe it is. We'll talk about that. New guidelines for the media when it comes down to the camera people. We'll talk about that and kind of how they're shooting athletes. We'll get into that. The World Cup is wrapping up. I think the final match will be Sunday. I want to say Argentina won today, so it should be Argentina versus Spain, I believe that's coming up. But we'll talk about the economic impact in the U.S. Lindsey Graham, as we mentioned. And then, what are we watching, or what we're going to talk about as we talk about all of them times. Make sure you follow us on all of the social media platforms. As you mentioned, we're live right now on YouTube. We're live both vertically and horizontally on YouTube. Check out a couple of folks who already jumped up in the comments. What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? Glad to see you. Also, we're Facebook, Instagram will be there, and then as well as Twitch, and also on Threads if you want to follow the YouTube link that is on Threads. Super producer,
what's up? Happy Wednesday. What's going on?
Happy Wednesday. We got a couple, we got a couple. I'm working on some things, trying to brighten this up a little bit. So we got a couple new graphics. Hey,
it looks good though. I like it. I like the new graphics, especially if we can just keep to the schedule of every Wednesday, even when school starts. Praying to the schedule gods.
Yeah, it's the summertime. So we spent last weekend, Thursday through Monday morning, when I got back 5 o'clock in the morning in Atlanta, in Las Vegas, and for basketball.
It's dry heat in Vegas. It's not even
hot
like
heat in Vegas. It's oven. You an oven. You step outside of the convention center, and it's an oven, is what it was. And so, what's going on, Dijon? Happy Wednesday to you too. Where are my little? See right there. Comments already acting crazy. Oh, why is it all the way up over in the corner over here? You know what I'm talking about? Anyway. So we're in Vegas for basketball, and I am reserving my comments because you've been on this happy train with me for a while when it comes down to the basketball. And
I have.
Yeah,
and I can't wait for them girls to get driver's license and vehicles so we can stop this madness.
It's just real interesting. It's real interesting to be honest with you. But it's all a part of the process. We get it. It's all a part of the process. It's all what we're dealing with when it comes down to the hoops and all of that. But rest assured, when you get into this game, which you will get into this game eventually, it is a money grab. So make sure, folks, if you're thinking about if your kids are too young and you're not there yet, make sure you spend a lot of time.
Swimming. I'm hoping for swimmers. I'm hoping that both of my kids want to swim.
And that's cool. It's all a money grab. It don't make no difference if it's swimming or tennis or basketball or football or whatever. It's all a money grab. But if your kids get the college scholarships and they get an opportunity, I'm starting to learn about all there are a lot of kids in high school who actually have agents. And I kind of remember that back in the day with tennis. We had some friends. One of my buddies played tennis, and some of the kids on the team had shoes and all this stuff. We were like, "Ooh, they got free shoes." And so now it's a whole lot more than shoes if you are one of the ones that they're looking for. My girls are doing very, very well. They're not one of the ones yet, but we're working on that.
All right.
We're working on it. So, all right, let's jump into it. Where do you want to start in these internet streets today?
All right, we're going to start with Lindsey Graham, and I'm going to sprinkle allegedly all over at the top. Because this story to me is crazy, and I don't want to get us in trouble. But Lindsey Graham died in Washington, D.C. one day after returning from Kiev, where he met with Ukraine President Vladimir Zelensky to discuss a new package of sanctions against Russia. A statement released by Graham's office on Sunday cited preliminary findings from the District of Columbia's Office of the Chief Medical Examiner, identifying the cause of death as an aortic dissection due to I used to be able to pronounce it, but I can't. Cardiovascular disease through the official cause of death. Though the official cause of death remains pending additional testing. So we saw this man on TV. We saw this man on TV on I think Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
He gets back on Sunday, and now he's died. That is the most insane timing I've ever seen. I'm sorry, allegedly, not even sorry. My opinion is this man was poisoned. This does not make any sense that this man has been fined. He has not had any issues. And now all of a sudden they're like, well, it was a slight kind of, arrhythmic thing. This can sometimes cause an issue. And, it might have been undetectable. He said he had back pain. What? Are you all serious? And you think the American people are supposed to buy this?
Here's the thing, man. He was 70-something years old.
71.
71 years old. So he wasn't a young man. And people of that certain age, they suddenly passed. We don't know what his health situations were. We don't.
Okay, cool.
No, but finish your conspiracy theory. Go ahead. I'm entertained.
If Mitch McConnell can stay alive, then Lindsey Graham should be fine.
But here's the thing. Thank you for bringing that up. So we don't know if Mitch McConnell is alive because
this is true.
We have not. It's funny because they put out this what they call it, proof of life picture.
But it was an AI generated photo
with him in the bed with his wife there and all of that. And then somebody zoomed into the newspaper that was supposed to be the newspaper, and it had the AI script on there.
Yeah.
And so you sit there and you say, so yeah.
I don't know why they do this for old people. Because remember when the Prince of England, the Queen's husband, whose name I can't think of right now. Don't ask me about
no damn princes, and I don't give a dag.
Prince Philip. Remember Prince Philip died? And they thought he was propped up in the back seat, but he had already died. And then there was that whole speculation with that. Why are we just letting our old people just die?
Well, because in America, this man has a vote in the Senate. And so as we look at this image here, you can kind of see it. You see the little AI stuff going on over there?
You can't, even the way he's holding it is weird. Who holds a newspaper like that?
Let's see if it won't let me zoom anymore. Okay. So anyway, and here's the thing. I'm hearing people talking about, first of all, the last time there was, what was the guy who was an FBI guy who passed away, and Trump basically said good riddance.
I don't remember.
He was the guy who was the FBI director who passed away. This was probably 3 or 4 months ago. Anyway, point being, and somebody look it up, somebody drop it in the comments. But the Democrats got to learn how to just say, I'm gonna sit back and thoughts and prayers, because all of this sending out, and I saw, and he's pastor, my senator here in Georgia. Senator Warnock, I think he put out a post about, he did the respectful thing and all that. There was a few other people doing the respectful things.
Yeah.
But Lindsey Graham has a hell of a record. He has a hell of a record that has been disparaging to minorities, been disparaging to LGBTQ folk, and allegedly he actually was gay, allegedly. And
I forgot we're saying allegedly. Yes, allegedly.
Yeah, I don't
this
know.
man
I ain't in that man's life.
Spent 71 years with no wife, no kids, no nothing. Yeah. That's normal.
So all of that over these years, and so and it's so many different ways that he has been not great for blacks, for minorities, for LGBTQ folk, for anybody that doesn't have any bread. He's ran around, he's ran behind, and presented the Republican conservative position for a long time. don't have an issue with the conservative position. It is what it is, especially if you're fiscal conservative. But when socially you're crapping on people the way that he has done over the years. But all of a sudden we got to do the customary, it's his family and he was a funny guy and blah 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 blah. Trump don't give a daggone about none of that. When Trump came out that joint and started talking trash about what is the guy's name, FBI director, but he's not going to show you that much respect. And that's the part that we got to get to the point the Republicans, the Democrats got to realize, man, you're in a fight. We're in a fight for our lives, man. So, when it comes down to the, somebody like a Lindsey Graham passing away.
Robert Mueller.
When Robert Mueller passed away, Donald Trump basically said good riddance. And I know I'm not the exact quote, but pretty much that's what he said. Glad he was dead.
Here's the issue with Lindsey Graham. I mean, he had an issue. He had a checkered history with LGBTQ, with women, with minorities. Got that. But I feel like, to me, and again, I'm sorry, his most embarrassing moment was doing a completely 180 and bowing down to Trump, because he had spent that time prior like, he's a buffoon. Are you all insane? Like the whole thing, the same thing that JD Vance did. Then all of a sudden, Trump's our best bet, and and he's good for America. He's putting America first. What? Well, you hated this man a month ago, and now here you are acting like you were wrong.
These folks have absolutely no problem doing an absolute 360. They don't give a damn. As long as somebody is giving them some money in their coffers and their constituents say, this is who we want you to support. I'm talking about this dude did the whole religious bigot thing. There's a whole quote out there, him talking about when he was running against Donald Trump, when he didn't want Donald Trump to be the president, he talked about Donald Trump like he was what he is. Then all of a sudden, once he became president, complete 360.
And here's the other part that gets really weird with the Lindsey Graham story. So his sister, Darlene Graham Norton, who has been appointed to serve the remaining months of his Senate term, which I've never heard of this before. And it's only a few months, and I don't think she's going to run for real because she has zero qualifications. I don't even think she has a desire to want to do it. But I guess it's like some weird way of honoring that. But have you ever heard of a family member being appointed?
I've heard of a governor appointing who they want to appoint when somebody dies in office. And then at that point, of course, they're going to vote exactly the way that the person who appointed them wants them to vote. Well, the American democracy system is so put together with glue and tape and mirrors. It's just like we want to believe it's so upright, and it's interesting. When you consider a governor can sit up and say, you think about it, it happened. There was a stat. There was a governor. What state was it? I think it was Texas, where a black congressman died in office, and the governor of Texas almost took a full year to appoint anybody. And so, what does that do? That means whoever party you're in, obviously in that situation, it was a Democrat, Republican, Abbott, there in Texas. So the Democrats had one less vote on every issue that came about. This man he ain't cold yet.
No.
And they done already
poison does that to you. So he might be.
He already been replaced. What'd you say?
Nothing. Just let the joke slide over your head. It was about poison.
Oh Jesus.
This doesn't make any sense. I get what they're trying to do. I know why she did it, because they do have a very close relationship, because he raised his sister. They're very close. That's the same thing if they were like, you report if a spouse got the position after the husband died. But I feel like they've done that before. I can't remember.
This is not an oddity. It has happened before. The bottom line is the governor has the right. I don't know if it's state for state. He can appoint who he wants. He can appoint a senator. Someone dies in office, he can appoint who he wants for that period until then the special election. He can call and depend on the state. And that's, what we're really learning with this whole exercise that we're dealing with MAGA is that Trump has exposed the fact it ain't none of this stuff rock solid.
No.
Like, there's ways to get around. We have 50 states. They have 50 different constitutions, state constitutions. You have, the Fed can control these people pretty much by the purse or by how much money they allocate to those particular states, or if it comes down to military that along those lines. But These people find
I want to
ways.
see if he's going to have an open casket funeral. To be honest, I want to see how it's
Why?
going to be. If they immediately, what do
Why?
you
Why do you
mean?
care?
Why?
Why do you care?
What? If he's been poisoned by another nation, yes, I care. You don't.
Do you
You don't
think
want
if
to
it's
know?
an open casket would let you know if the man has been poisoned? They're gonna clean him up just like anybody else.
Yes.
It will not. You think they're just gonna put him out there, with X over his eyes and everything? Like, come on.
No, because he's not a cartoon.
But I'm saying, but the fact that you think that he's gonna be able to be, come on now, stop.
There's only so much repair a mortician can do. But if they decide to cremate him and then they just give him like some little memorial service, then we all know what's up. Because there was another gentleman that got poisoned by Russia. It was that spy guy from a while ago. They couldn't give him no regular funeral. I think he had to be cremated.
These people are playing a game that we're not involved in on a day-to-day basis, and so there's that. All right, let's move on.
Where are we going next?
So let's talk about the ICE shootings. We've had 2 more situations, one in Maine, and I believe the other one was Texas. Was it Texas? I think Houston. Yeah. Where, and it's so, I think we're getting to the point, and we're getting desensitized too quickly, right? Because these 2 shootings happened, and it hasn't been a lot of outrage. We know what happened in Minnesota, but you know what? The difference in Minnesota is what? Minnesota was a white woman and a white man in Minnesota. In both of these situations, there were 2 Hispanic people who were the victims of these situations. I still believe, and I honestly believe, that beyond the fatigue, it is once again America not seeing the value in the lives of those Hispanic brothers. And so the story was big when it was a white woman and a white man who got killed in Minnesota. Now they're trying to bring this story to the forefront, thank God. But ultimately, these people have to be stopped. It's crazy what's going on right now. Go ahead.
Let me say a couple things. So the Houston prosecutor actually wants to bring charges against ICE. He wants to, because he doesn't understand how this is happening. And he's Republican, Greg Adams Republican, but they're very confused about how this happened and why they're not receiving information from ICE. So they're like, if y'all have nothing to hide, y'all should be giving us information, and they're not giving them any information. For the Maine shooting, it was a traffic stop, but everybody is confused about why this person was being stopped, because they weren't illegal, and ICE is saying, we didn't have an order out on this poor person. Then how did the shooting happen? If there's no order that you guys have on this person, why were you following him? And again, the same thing I said last week. How are people supposed to react when plainclothes people who are fully covered with sunglasses on, who look like kidnappers, just jump in front of your car? How are you supposed to react?
I really don't understand. And praise, thank God. I don't know. That is such a valid question. If I'm approached by a Jeep Cherokee and these guys jump out with masks, my first response is going to be, I'm reaching in my glove box as fast as I can to protect me and my family. Oh, by the way, I'm going to wait until you pull your gun on me to figure out that you're really not someone who's trying to rob me. You really are law enforcement, and so it's a tough situation that folks are in to try to manage this. And I just, this stuff has just got to stop, man. It's incredible. It's insane.
And the fact that ICE has a ridiculous high average of unarmed shootings, that should be disturbing for everybody. In the past 12 months, there have been four deaths. Mm-hmm. All these people have been unarmed, and I think maybe 3 other injured from something involving ICE. That is a high percentage. The national average for police and unarmed shootings and all that that's not even that high. It's not that high, anywhere near that high in a 12-month span. And that's the national average. And this is what ICE is doing. What they're doing is not working. It's freaking people out, meaning people are making bad decisions because, again, you guys are running up on people. And or even if someone turns a wheel, like the good woman did, turns a wheel. Oh, you're trying to ram your car into me. I'm going to shoot you. Or the other guy who's legally carrying a gun didn't pull his gun. Someone else took it, and you all shot him on the ground. Like, What's happening?
It's
Who's training you?
these people don't care, man. That's the thing, is that there's always when you feel like that you're impervious to any sort of prosecution, you're just sitting back saying, when it's all said and done, the country has my back. I'm doing what the country, and it's always wild when they start talking about what America wants. These people don't consider black people or Hispanics or LGBTQ or anybody that's not white and an assimilant to America as Americans. So anytime you hear the language that they use when they say this is what America wants, but this side of America doesn't want that. Oh, y'all don't matter. To this government, to this administration, everybody doesn't matter. It only people that matter is people who are aligned with MAGA. Other than that, you don't matter. And it's sad. It's a sad testament to where we are as a country, but it's just where we are.
And it is sad because when you throw it, and then when people start saying, hey, y'all are racist, they're like, we're not racist. How dare you say that? Well, what you mean, how dare we say that? Look at what's happening. Like, we're not just calling you racist for no reason. Look how you're treating minorities. Look how you're treating migrants. Look how you're treating the LGBTQ. That makes you racist, and it makes you xenophobic. It makes you, homophobic. It makes you trans. It makes you all those things based on the behavior you're showing us as an organized group of people.
This is what you're showing. Yes. Yes.
Anyway.
And so until you show us something different, this is what we believe. Because this isn't just people just getting smacked around a little bit. These are people that are dying, not injury, dying in these situations. And so you sit back and you say, we just got to get through. Hopefully we get into November. And oh, by the way, we in and out of a war in Iran, and we're talking about putting troops on the ground in Iran. And as soon as that stuff ramps back up, then gas prices are going to go back up. And
America is a very frustrating place, and I'm seeing a lot of celebrities who have just picked up and moved to other countries. Like even celebrities that you wouldn't know. But there's a recent couple from what was that show, Black Ink Crew Chicago, who she was really famous in the show. Her and her entire family packed up 13 suitcases and moved to Kenya and was like, we're good. We're good. I don't want to do this anymore. It's frustrating. And a lot of people are moving back to Africa. They absolutely are doing that. Some white people are moving to Canada.
There are people who are voluntarily leaving. You're exactly right.
There are white people who are moving to Canada or are moving to Europe. Like, I just don't want to do what America has going on, because even once Trump is out of office, it is going to take an extremely long time for America to recover for what this man has even done in the last 18 months. It's going to take a while to recover from all of this.
Yes,
and,
that's absolutely.
It's unfortunate.
So now what? So what are our options? Our options are continuing to try to survive and get on the other side of this thing. But yeah, you're wild. You're right. This is wild. So all right, let's move on. All right, so let's talk a little bit about. Go ahead.
I have another story that wasn't on the list, and I apologize it wasn't on the list because I wasn't informed about it. But I want to talk about another teen who has died around his white friends. I don't know if you've heard this story. A Texas teen, a young athlete's death has been mirrored in mystery since he drowned in a Texas lake 3 months ago. Now, 2 teens who were with him face charges of evidence tampering, fueling anger and speculation about what happened. The 18-year-old drowned in April after jumping off a railroad track bridge at Lake Ray Hubbard, about 15 miles east of downtown Dallas. Authorities have now arrested 2 teens, 19-year-old Lucas Roper and 16-year-old juvenile, and another 16-year-old juvenile on suspicion of evidence tampering. And this boy was on the swim team. So you're telling me a swim team member jumped into a lake or whatever voluntarily, which no swimmer would actually do, and then you guys had his phone and were deleting stuff on your phone.
That sounds awfully familiar, right?
It does.
Yeah, it sounds awfully familiar to what happened to the other young man. There was a video, and I'm trying to see. I thought I sent it to Tracy. I'm gonna see if I can find it. Yeah.
Oh, also, not only did they have his phone, they disposed of his belongings.
Yeah. Of course they did. Of course it did. I'm going to. I'm not gonna play this whole clip because it is long. but I want you to hear a little bit of this woman here and her position.
So, hey, Boo. I just had a thought. One of the reasons white people hate black people is because we cannot tolerate black joy. We cannot tolerate black intelligence. We cannot tolerate black beauty. We cannot tolerate black confidence. We cannot tolerate black camaraderie. We cannot tolerate anything that frees a black person. There's a level of racism that I think hits differently for black people than it does for Asian people or Hispanic people or Middle Eastern people or Native Americans even. Each one of those things that people think regarding other...
This woman, I'm not going to play the whole thing because she goes on for a while. And here's the thing about this clip. She is actually taking the position of an ally.
Yeah, I could tell that. I know some people might be confused, but she's taking this as an ally, trying to explain to people why.
Yeah. And she really there's even a point that in the video where she basically says she sees one black person with a group of white folks, white kids, and she goes out of her way at times to approach that kid to say, go home. Don't hang out with these people. They don't mean you any good. It was.
I can come off racist when you think about it. You walking up
Well,
to the
I hear
like
you,
that.
but yes, it can. But she, like I said, this video she's probably goes on for 3 or 4 minutes. And
well, let me say this really, really fast. There's one thing that I can say 1,000% sure about what she said, and we saw with Obama, and why everybody hated him so much. It was so visceral. The reaction to a black president was that black confidence. That you can't tell me nothing because I have a beautiful wife. I got 2 cute kids. I have a degree. I'm Harvard Law Review. You can't tell me nothing. I'm confident. I am.
And that is a part of what she talked about. She talked about.
That's what I'm saying. That's what really.
Yep. She talked about the education. Yep. She talked about. She definitely talked about that. And she broke it. It was jaw dropping, and there's a lot of folks, obviously a lot of folks in here, Nikki Gilbert from Brownstone, and of course our favorite buddy Andre Size.
And even outside of the confidence, we see it with black beauty. We see that, and that's probably the most annoying thing. You complain about black shapes and lips and this and that because we wear it confidently because we've grown up with shapes like this. You all take your melanin lacking selves over to your doctor to have our lips, to have cheeks like ours, to have butts like ours, to have thighs like ours. You go there and have surgery. You hate that we have it, but you want it. Then we start wearing our natural hair more after 2020. We're to the point where people are like, it's not Nita, it's not Kim, because we as black women have become more confident in wearing our natural hair out the house and are cool with it. Now we have to go so far on putting in the Crown Act.
It's just like, imagine a world where we were left alone. Imagine a world where we're given the same opportunity as all. But it's wild, and I just if you want, I dropped a link in the comments for anybody, and don't leave the show yet. But if you want to see the woman's her full deal, I dropped a link on Instagram. But she continues to go on, and she kept what grabbed me is that she kept referencing it as we when she was talking about white women. She's white people. She said we don't like this, we don't like that, we don't like this, and it did throw me off a little bit. I'm like, okay, so are you here to tell us that you're an ally, or you know, telling us
And
what's
she might
going
be
on behind?
reformed. She might be
Huh?
a reformed,
She could be.
whatever.
She could
Because
be. She could be.
I was
Yeah.
watching a panel the other day on CNN. It was on YouTube about people who are reformed MAGA and that mindset that took them a lot of times to get out of, and
Yeah.
how they had to really sit down and process all the stuff they were thinking, and how they were acting and what they were saying to other people. And then some of them went so opposite, like this lady is, and now they're preaching to everybody about why we were wrong, and realizing that was also a turn off, and now they're having to find a new center. So some people are some people's minds are changing, and some people are trying to do better, and they recognize their past issues.
Well, here's the thing too. I really do believe that even people who may have racist tendencies and don't realize that they're racist, and when they realize that they are, I even think that there's a possibility. I don't think all racists are bad people, which is crazy as that may sound. When they're in their own space dealing with their own folk, they may be very good people to their family and their friends and all of that, right? They're but when it comes down to, it's interesting enough. There was a post that I think I reshared it. Let me see if I have it on my threads. But where there was a woman who claims that and I don't know where it is, but there was a woman who is, I know it is, what's his name? Talbert. Where is it at? Bishop Talbert Swan. He's talking about, there was a woman who posted how she's 38 years old and she's supposed to be so beautiful. And I look at this thing and I said to myself, and how much she and in the post, she just talked about how much she just hated black people. This is what you do when you don't keep, let me see, where is it? Oh man, here it is. Boom. So in this deal, so this woman on the left says, this is what 38 looks like when you pay extra to keep them out of your neighborhoods. This is what 38 looks like when you have actual work ethic. This is what 38 looks like when you never let them into your home. This is what 38 looks like when you never once done business with them. This is what 38 looks like when you're never employed one of them. This is what 38 looks like when you've never had romantic relations with them. The key to success in staying youthful is keeping them as far away from your life as possible. Ask me how we know. Oh, and I'm white and proud. Strong arm. This woman here.
Is 38 in the room with us?
This woman here.
Wait, which one's 38? Is the white woman 38?
Yes, this is her caption underneath her post that, and Bishop Swans basically said, this is my 38-year-old daughter in comparison to this sunburnt.
I'm 41, ladies and gentlemen. I'm 41. And I look at least a decade younger than her. She looked like she could be one of my mama friends. Like, that's how old she looks. So you need more black friends.
But she don't want no black friends. That's part of her. Here's the thing. To her credit, she doesn't say who she keeps out. She probably keeps everybody out because, of course, she says, I'm white and I'm proud. So she may be talking about black. She may be talking about Hispanic. She may be talking about Asian. She may be talking about a lot of people. Here's what it is. Most black 38-year-old black women, Asian women, Hispanic women, they all look better than you, baby. Every last one of them. You look like you need to stay out the sun. Go find some foundation for your hair, for your face.
And here's the other thing. Why don't y'all go live on Return to the Land? That little weird thing they were building out in Arkansas, in Ravenden, Arkansas. Remember that whole thing they were building, the white-only settlement? It ain't built. It ain't about nothing. But still, go live with them. Go, if you really want to be around non-black people, if you want to be around white folks forever, go live in dirt and sticks in the heat in Arkansas. It is meant for you. But you, ma'am, look like an old leather handbag. So you at least need to work on some sunscreen. Okay.
But the hate that's out here in this world, it's insane. It's insane. And it's like, imagine a world where you just
You sure do, Dijon. You sure do look better at 55.
Here we go. Here's what I'm talking about. If you leave people alone, imagine in a world where you just let us leave people alone. You do We don't care. We don't want to be in your space. We don't want to be in your house. You know what I mean? We know if you're this type of person, we don't want to work with you. We won't do nothing with you. We want you to stay over there wherever you are and just be whoever you're gonna be, and stay away from us, because we don't want no smoke until it's time to bring some smoke, and then well, you know what happens when especially black women ready to bring some smoke. It's not gonna be cute.
She whatever happens to her, she brought it on herself. But to white people who are trying to be allies, be an ally. Don't go too far, because you end up not being an ally. You end up just being a hindrance to what the progress everybody is making. Anyway, what is next on?
Great people are great people. You know, people like this woman right here, she can kick rocks, as far as I'm concerned.
Also, liberal white women, I'm still not on your side.
Oh God,
just gotta make that point.
All right, what time is it? All right,
wait before we go into the. It's gonna be
I'm quick on the trigger, man. I'm quick on the trigger.
We can go. It's gonna be a doozy. Let's talk about Boosie.
All right, so this is the portion of our show when there's stories is out here in these streets, and you say, "What did that really?" Yeah, it really happened. Yeah. So let's talk about Boosie. What's Boosie Badazz? I don't know what. I guess Lil Boosie. Okay. So what's going on with Lil Boosie?
This has to be the funniest story I've ever heard of in my life. So, Louisiana rapper Boosie Badazz is reportedly looking to claw back $300,000 from a firm of Washington, D.C. lobbyists after they failed to secure a pardon from Donald Trump after he hired them to pursue the overturning of his conviction on charges of possessing a loaded weapon at a music video shooting in 2023. Boosie, whose legal name is Torrance Hatch and who hails from his home state's capital, Baton Rouge, paid J.M. Berkman and Associates $600,000 in 2025 to advance his push for a pardon from the U.S. president, according to a report on Monday from Notice, which covers the federal government. But a pardon was not forthcoming. And Hatch is now taking up the issue through arbitration, potentially portraying a genre of litigation stemming from Trump's habit. Wait, no, none of this matters. What is it? Where is it? This is going into a lot of technical stuff. That's not what I wanted. Basically, what happened is that he paid that law firm, the lobbyist firm, to go to Trump and do a pardon. That is not how pardons work. I mean, it's weird. It is how it works, but not Boosie Badazz and not for any celebrity. You can't just give him $600,000 and he's going to pay give a pardon. It's another back way that they do it. But the part that I find the most hilarious is that the people who run this law firm is Jacob Wohl. Does anybody remember Jacob Wohl? Jacob Wohl was a right-wing troll on Twitter years ago. He had a press conference back in 2018 saying that he had proof that the election had been stolen and some other crazy stuff. And it turned out he didn't have any of that proof. They were just promoting their lobbying firm. So him and this other guy, Berkman, have been scammers for years. So they took his money and said they had connections to people like Laura Loomer and Nancy Mace and all these other people. And Boosie bought it because he don't know who any of these people are. He just thinks, ooh, white names, they can help me. And he went along with it and they stole his money. To me, you don't need to get no refund.
I'm just waiting for you to finish. You're overthinking this as far as I'm concerned.
Overthinking what? He got scammed and it's awesome. He deserves this.
You ever watch a gangster movie where the gangsters walk in and say, you know, you got to pay me every week? Oh, I'm breaking your knees. I'm breaking your kneecaps. This is just the government way of doing it. This is just the Trump way of doing it. You pay us, you line our pockets, you give us $1 million and we'll pardon whoever. That's just all this is.
That's not what's happening. That's not what is happening.
Well, how do you figure that's not what's happening? You don't think people are paying for these pardons that Trump has been pardoning people everywhere?
No. People are paying for that, but that's not what's happening in the Boosie case. These two people stole his money, like actually stole his money. They had no intention of doing any of that stuff. They
Correct.
Just stole
they were the thugs out there who sit up and say, hey, you know, you want to get out of pardon? Give me a little bread. I'll go talk to the boss. They're supposed to go talk to the boss, Donald Trump. But what they did was they walked away, they giggled and went to the casino and blew his money and basically said, what are you going to do about it? What are you going to do about it?
Yeah, you're kind of making it more gangster than you are making it cartoon. I make it more cartoon only because I know these two guys. But
It's gangster.
Loomer,
It's gangster. What is Boosie going to do about it?
well, apparently, I don't know why he's doing this. He's reporting them to the feds to
Okay.
get his refund back.
Let's see if the feds do anything about it. Let's see if drunk FBI director Cash Patel does anything about it.
Well, now Boosie might get a refund because Laura Loomer came out on Twitter and was like, I have zero idea what you're talking about. That's not how it works. I don't work with Jacob Roll. He's a jackass. Like, she's coming out saying all this stuff. And she's like, why would you give your money to these two morons? They haven't even been in Trump's orbit since 2018. Why would you do this?
Because he's a moron. He thought he pretty much thought, you're one of those guys. You're one of those Republican guys. You know what I mean? Of course you can get me a pardon.
But that's the other funny part. Did he just think two white men, they should just know Trump? Is that what he thought?
Hey man, he probably think if it worked for Lil Wayne, it could work for him. And so now he got a $600,000.
Boosie also has a very weird, inflated ego for who he is. I get it; he's a Louisiana rapper. He's famous, but is he famous outside of the South?
I've been in the South 20 years. He's famous here.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I was at his party when he got out of jail the first time. I understand he's famous, but he's not Lil Wayne famous where they can where Trump would care about giving him a pardon. Is that fair to say?
I guess he's learning that now. He thought he was.
Okay.
He thought he was. All right. What else you got? What else you got at What? What else you got?
That was the biggest what thing because it really was a what is happening? Let me see if there's anything else in the orbit of what. I got to go to my favorite Instagram, Neighborhood Talk, because they always got a good what.
And Lord knows I ain't been on there since I realized after about 2 weeks. I said I can't do this. I can't.
You could have done it.
Talk. Nah.
Let's see if there's anything. You know what? This is not a what, but I think it's hilarious. All these people doing that Netflix documentary trend where they
yeah. I saw a little bit of that because it was one woman talking about something about being married to a nuke. So yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So as I'm sitting up here, as you going through, I'm seeing this pop up. Angie Martinez. Man, make the most of it.
Also, Miguel, you might be the only faithful nuke from here to Timbuktu, so that's probably why that documentary would be scary to watch.
Whatever. You be talking about my nuke brothers like that. Nope.
I will always, until the end of time, say that. I don't care what anybody says.
All right, so what else? What else did we say we're gonna talk about today? Let me see. Make sure we talk about everything we say we're gonna talk about today. Let's see. Going back to my topics. Oh, we have not talked about the World. Oh no. Before we go to World Cup, you brought this story up, and I'll let you dig into it. What is this deal with the new media guidelines that you said about?
Yeah, let me pull the story up.
Let's get into that story. So basically, what you're saying is that. Well, I'll let you set it up, and then I'll respond.
Let me see if I can find the right story. Okay, so it's called broadcasting guidelines. The people are saying social media has erupted over new broadcasting guidelines that discourage sexualized shot of female athletes. So basically what they're doing, and it's coming out of the European Broadcasting Union, and what's happening is when athletes, specifically track athletes, are stretching or, they're doing any of that kind of stuff, or if they're pole vaulting or anything, the European Broadcasting Union is trying to change the way those shots are angled so that these women are not sexualized. A lot of people are like, oh, you're making a big deal out of nothing, or now nobody's going to watch sports. If you watch sports for a broadcasting angle, like there's already a problem in your brain. I don't see what the issue is with. They're not saying they can't shoot the athletes, but if the athlete's on the ground stretching, doing a split with their legs wide open, stretching, there's no reason for the camera to be on that person at that moment. If they are, bent over, doing another stretch, which is a normal track and meet stretch where you bend over and kind of like hug your knees to see how far you can, fold yourself in. Why are we behind her taking a shot of that? We shouldn't be doing stuff like that. That is basically what they're saying, just to be more respectful of female athletes. Because again, track and field stars, gymnasts, they're practically naked when they're doing these sports. So.
Yeah, and now as you said, as a European thing, I would agree to say with Donald Trump as our president, I don't think they'll really care on this side of the water. But you know, the gymnasts, track and field athletes, male, female, whoever, they obviously athletes are in the best shapes of their lives when they are on a big stage. And so that is a big part of why people watch sports is athleticism, and some people look at it for the eye candy.
And some
Um,
people are saying, well, with all due respect, why not give female athletes longer shorts? Which again, I agree with. Why are we not?
well, but because depending on the sport, it's
Because
difficult,
Flojo wore one pant leg.
huh?
Flojo wore one pant leg.
Flojo wore one pant leg, and every other girl in WNBA now, and everywhere they're doing the one pant leg thing, which has nothing. I wonder if they know that Flojo did it first 30, 40 years ago, but I digress.
Yeah.
A lot of people, they don't, they won't wear because those garments, they get in the way, right? You don't want to go back 100 years ago when women were playing tennis with skirts all the way down to their shoes. Um, you need to, in order to compete, you want to have as little in your way to keep you from doing what you need to do. Man, this story is what it is, man. Yeah.
Well, for example, like gymnasts, if you look at gymnasts back in the early 90s to what their uniforms look like now, they're doing the same stuff from the 90s now. Why has the uniform gotten more skimpy? Why has the bottom gotten more skimpy? If you look at the 90s uniform compared to 2026, it's gotten a lot
I
teeny
can't
tinier.
remember a time where women's gymnast uniforms were not very tight and just revealing. I can't remember of any. I can't think of anything going back to what's her name, Mary Lou Retton, back in the '80s. They always
But they
because
covered their whole butts back then. They don't cover their whole butts now.
in gymnastics.
In gymnastics, they covered their whole backsides. Because I didn't believe
If
either
I
until
were to
someone
pull up
showed
Mary,
me.
I think her name was Mary Lou Retton from back in the '80s. Mary Lou, I think it's Mary Lou. Mary Lou Retton. Okay, so here are some images of Mary Lou Retton from now. None of the shots that I see are from behind.
And I'm
so
trying to find one at the back, but they're. I mean, some of them you can see, like the 99-6 uniform. It covers their whole butts, but that is not the uniform that they wear.
I've never seen. I can't recall any time that gymnasts were. This is Mary Lou Retton. This has got to be. I think she won the championship. She was the best gymnast in the world in 88 or 80 something, right? So, and I think she's battling an illness right now, I believe. Yeah, that she's facing death. But I can't remember.
You would have to go through all the photos, but again, their uniforms, and I'm not talking about the top part. The top part has always been the same. It's always been the same, but the bottom part and the butt side has always been different. But again, that's where we are.
I think we're in our society right now. There's somebody who has an issue with everything.
This is a fact. This is true.
So, just give it a day or two and somebody will have an issue with everything, right? So, well, here's what we know. Keep your hands to yourself. You had a situation with the gym coach. I think he's in jail now. Who
the doctor.
The doctor who molested the young girls. So it's valid that you want to make sure these young women are protected, and it's not just young women. It's been situations where men have had sexual assault situations too as athletes as well. Especially with gymnasts, men who are gymnasts, they'll have on tight stuff, and their package is going to be,
And I agree with that too. With the tight packages,
so
the same thing with the rowing teams.
What they supposed to put on baggy shorts, and when they do their flips, they're doing a very dangerous thing when they're flipping several times in the air. They want everything out the way to make sure their hands can keep them from. So anyway, this isn't a big deal to me, but God bless anybody who feels like this is a big deal. All right. What was the other thing? What was the other thing we were supposed to talk about?
What are we watching?
Topics. Let me go back to my topics. It was something that we forgot. Let's see. Boom. Boom. World Cup. Had me screaming like World Star. So you see, you can't hear me because I got the wrong page on. Wow. So World Cup, and so it's almost done. I know you and Omar have been watching World Cup, right?
Yes. So Argentina will face off against Spain. That'll be Sunday, July 19th at 3 p.m. Argentina versus Spain for the World Cup.
Yeah. I was actually, my barber, he just opened up a new shop downtown Atlanta, and he's on the back side of the stadium. And he called me, say, man, you might want to start driving this way a little bit early today because the World Cup's going on. And so from an economic standpoint, God bless the cities. I know Atlanta made some money. I want to say they were in Dallas, I think Seattle, I think about 6 cities around the country who hosted the World Cup this year. And it's been a great boost to the economy. There were some issues early on in Atlanta, and I'll be interested to see how this story pans out because there were the vendors were set up in some spaces that they weren't making no bread.
Yeah.
Like, no traffic was being pushed their way in order for them to sell the food and vend the different things that they were trying to sell. So that might be an issue.
The only people I don't feel bad about are you people who try to gouge Airbnb with your home and your prices and wondering why people did not book your spaces. You know exactly when nobody booked your spaces. Don't write Airbnb. Don't complain. Don't go to the news. No, you guys decided to charge people triple, double for your Airbnb. That's why you didn't make any money. I'd rather go to a hotel. Because they've been online complaining about it.
I definitely want to see the after action review on this whole deal, just to see how well economically the country did. Because yeah, man, it was interesting. When I saw here in Atlanta, the first couple of days, people said, "Okay, I made $150 today." Like, ooh, that's not good. And hopefully, the Andre Dickens administration won't get too much heat for that, but we will see. All right, what are you watching?
So I finally got into the House of Dragons. That has been like a new favorite among us Black people, watching House of Dragon and watch, fantasy stuff with dragons and white people with blonde hair. It's great.
Yeah.
I'm watching that, of course. And that's really it. I watched the Love Island finale. I know only me and your kids watch Love Island. It's been a very tumultuous season, not a good one by any means.
It wasn't
so
good.
that is over.
It wasn't good.
You said it wasn't a good season? It wasn't. And I know we don't do the marketing minute anymore, but people whose family members go on these shows, your family member on the show is not the only one under scrutiny and the only one who can affect marketing dollars. The boy who got third place on the show, who was going to be very popular, even though he wasn't the best guy on the show, he was going to end up getting a lot of brand deals. His family managed to ruin any financial equity he had in himself by their behavior on TikTok, calling the other Black girls ugly, calling, them ghetto, trashy. Oh, you should have hit that. Saying that kind of stuff on TikTok live and coming the next day like, why are y'all mad? We're allowed to have an opinion. Yeah, you are, but not on the live, and not that can be recorded and seen by others. So.
Oh, yeah. So here I go. You know I am about.
He cares now.
Hold on a second. You know I am about my VA family. You know how much about my VA family, right? So add to the broadcast and publish. So the lady that won Love Island is from Newport News.
Trinity.
Virginia.
Her name is Trinity, and she is with a white boy. She got with a white boy the first couple of days of the season, and name is Bryce, and they won the whole thing. They won $50,000 each. I think there's some caveat they gave it, but $50,000 each, and it's an interesting show. It's an interesting experiment, but anyway, that's all I'm watching now. What are you watching?
So here's what I'm watching, and right on time. So Dijon says, "Bro, did you see the last episode of Raising Kanan?
I'm not doing this with y'all.
Uncle Marvin beat his ass." Yes, I did. Finally. And so eventually you're going to sneak in. You're going to watch Raising Kanan.
I'm not getting the Stars Network.
Well, whatever. $5. They give it to you $5 for the rest of the year. Something crazy. And so, the whole thing about the 50 Cent character, because Kanan, just for the people who actually watch, and Kia's over there, whatever. 50 Cent character is Kanan, and the way that they've over the last 5 seasons have developed his character, and people say he's turning into the dirtbag that he ended up being on OG Power. And so his uncle beat the dog crap out of him, like pretty bad, because he killed his other uncle. So it's interesting. I think the biggest thing now we're trying to figure out is how they're going to squeeze in all this information, and I think it might be 2 more episodes. See, there you go, kid. Look.
I feel like
It is $3 right now, kid. $3 for stars.
I'm not doing it. I feel like you and Dijon, like I said last week, need to do a power review episode. I think it would be amazing.
You
We
know,
need the
maybe,
content for the channel.
maybe. I might send her a link, and then we'll do a power review episode. But the storytelling of the Power universe is, and I can't really think of any black show outside of the Medea stuff that has followed one character. There's 5 episodes left. Okay, I didn't think it was that many left. You sure? Because I thought they said it was only 8 episodes, and we've already gone through at least 5, I think, for this season. But I can't think of any characters that have been followed. They have been doing this power thing for between probably 12 years. From the beginning, I can't hear you. Are you doing that on purpose? Mic check 1 2 1 2. Cannot hear you. No, I can't hear you. So unplug your little mic and plug it back in. So, but it's been ingenious what they've done with that of following, you know, these different storylines, and they keep on teasing folks enough times and keeping people going. You really can't talk. And so now you had the series, and then now you're doing the prequels, which have led up to where we are, and then you get into the origin, and they're going to ride this thing as long as they can. And God bless them, because when it's all said and done, they might get 15 years out of this, which is outside of the stories. That's it. Let me switch it. Let me see. Where is it? Kia One Shot. Talk now. Nope. Something's wrong with you. Nope. Don't hear it. All right. Bye. Her computer started tripping. Peace and bye-bye.